levels to
listen
it.
to this. So you're born at a specific time, but everything keeps moving, right? We're not like locked into space. We're moving all the time. So you have a natal chart, that's when you were born. You have a progress chart, that's who you are now. And then you'll have a progress chart when you're older too. You keep changing. So like I was born a Cancer, now I've progressed into a Leo. I had a Scorpio rising before, now it's progressed into Sagittarius. So I'm displaying different things because as I'm growing, I'm changing a little bit. I'm the same person really, but like I keep changing over time, and so does everybody else. And that's just like a blueprint for what might come up in your life. Like it even in my chart predicted that like I would probably have an early death of a loved one, and my mom died at 27. During my Saturn return, which is when a lot of people hit a pivotal time in their life, like Kanye West, his mom died around his Saturn return.
Your mom was 27 or you were 27?
I was 27. So it's just, yeah. But like, so there, you can, it's just kind of like a map, but it's never an excuse to like be a bad person. It's really just to gain insight. But I try not to like look at the horoscopes because
yeah, they're just bullshit.
well, they don't, you should always look for your rising sign, but then there's also like things that predict the next few years. I don't like them because I don't want to know, because it gives me anxiety. Sometimes they're right, sometimes they're not. I'm really into end times prophecies too. I love that stuff because my mom was really into that. She was super Christian. I was raised Christian, but I'm not really anymore. I'm more Gnostic, but I still believe a lot of the things that are going to happen with that stuff. So, and astrology kind of help predicts that stuff too.
Do you believe Jesus was an actual man that lived and died?
Yeah.
You believe that?
I believe he was an actual person.
Okay. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Do you believe that there's like really a place called Egypt and Israel is real?
Like on a map?
Yeah.
Yeah. Egypt's in Africa.
Okay.
Yeah. I know exactly where that. Yeah. No, I'm really interested in all the history of like even Africa too, because like the oldest Bible is from Ethiopia and it had so many extra books in it. There's so many things that were left out, especially by the Catholics. But like Mary Magdalene like was seen as a prostitute. Like I've been reading things like the Gospel of Mary Magdalene, which was left out of the Bible, and it talks about how she was actually one of Jesus's most loved disciples, and the reason why she was called a prostitute is because she
had a high body count.
Yeah, she had a high body count. So, you know, and that's not fair to say. No, I'm kidding. No, but Jesus taught her like a lot of the spiritual kind of out of this world teachings, and a few of the disciples, the ones primarily that started the Catholic Church, really didn't like what she was saying, so they sort of just like tarnished her name. Maybe she did have sex a lot, who knows. So like, but like apparently she wasn't just a prostitute. Like that actually wasn't really who she was.
Like the Book of Enoch?
Yeah, the Book of Enoch, that's a good one.
The Apocrypha is what you're talking about with the
yeah I didn't know the name for it, but yeah.
The problem, I wouldn't even say the problem, the concerning factors that it brings is that the Bible has consistency with history. Mm-hmm. And it aligns with history.
Yeah.
And what has happened with Christianity, we have ran a lot of people away because we used the Bible to do bad things out of context.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
it says it'll happen.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. We've took Christianity and we've made it this thing that people are repelled by and disconnected from because of what has happened with slavery, the Holocaust. Humanity's worst falls have been scripture out of context.
Or translated wrong, or they didn't even have the same words in Hebrew that they did in English. Like all those things.
There's so many variables.
Yeah.
But the message of Jesus Christ still stays the same.
Right.
He lived, died, and was resurrected. And
I don't know if I believe in the resurrection anymore.
You don't believe in the resurrection?
I don't know.
So
from what I'm reading.
Okay. Are you reading? Do you have a commentary with what you're reading?
Well, so I'm really into Gnosticism now, which is,
it's where you have a divine notion to know something.
But like, it's also like delving into like that God who Christians worship isn't the real God, and Satan who like Christians like demonize is actually the real God. But I'm not like really into that necessarily, but like that really interests me because I'm like, like what if? And then I don't know. So there's a whole bunch of different things it gets into, but it's mostly into believing that there is something there and that it's all inside of you, because Jesus did also say that, like, look inward to find everything. And what they're finding with science even is that at a cellular level, like we replicate the universe out in space. Like it's just like a Russian dressing or nesting doll. It's like the same.
We're made of the same energy that the stars are made of. We're
And the same
an atom where you're constantly changing
carbon,
shapes.
nitrogen, all those things, like all the same stuff. And it's just like
The Bible defies science, but science doesn't define the Bible.
the Bible and science kind of go together. Like
really
if
do.
you use your discernment, which Jesus also said was
Depends
super
on what kind of
important,
science you're looking
important
at.
to use your discernment.